All right. Hello, everyone. I'm Michiko Hayashi from Emoto Peace Project in Tokyo. Today, I'm very happy to introduce you Judy Cali from the United States. Hi, Judy.
Hi.
Thank you so much for being here with us.
It's my pleasure. I'm very excited to connect with your audience heart to heart.
Thank you. I was really touched by hearing your message when you gave that message during Ted's radio show. So I wanted you to share with my audience from
Okay.
the Peace Project. Let me read your bio quickly so people will
Okay.
know what you do. Judy Cali has been doing intuitive healing work with the Ascended Masters, Archangels, and Angels since 3 years of age in 1949. She was asked by Hilarion, the Ascended Master of Healing of the Emerald Ray, and Archangel Gabriel, Archangel of your Clarion Call, to go public with her gifts over 20 years ago. Honoring their request, her clarion call, working with people all over the world, has been a joy for her. Judy, you are a crystal Reiki master,
Yes.
spiritual minister, world teacher, life coach, workshop leader, and guest speaker. And in 2005, you channeled Mikos, head librarian of the Library of Portho, how do you say?
Porthologos.
Okay, Porthologos of Inner Earth for the Wesak Festival at the United Nations building in New York City. Wow. And also in
Yes.
2005, you were hired by NBC as a psychic for a documentary on Atlantis and the Bermuda Triangle with David Childress and
Yes.
Hester Holt, still showing sometimes. This is really, really amazing. It still shows in the Sci-Fi Channel.
Sometimes it still shows on the Sci-Fi Channel.
Oh,
It
wow.
does.
Just amazing. No wonder the message you gave is just so beautiful. I was really touched.
Mm.
And I would like you to, I would be really happy if you can share the message
Well,
right
we're
now.
at a time where it looks to the world like everything is nuts.
Mm-hmm.
But actually, what's happening is anything that's not loving, anything that's not the truth, anything that's been harmful
Mm-hmm.
is coming to the surface to be seen for what it really is. So we can make a different choice.
Uh-huh.
And we've chosen for the world to be the way it is now. And it's not healthy for most people.
Mm-hmm.
It's not honoring for most people. And it's extremely cruel to many people. And you have this huge dispensation of wealth
Right.
that is all over the world. And somehow we've reduced humanity and the planet and animals and plant life and the celestial world to money. And money is just a resource, it's not meant to be your life.
Mm-hmm.
And you came here with a gift that only you can give.
Right.
And that gift cannot be given out of fear, it can only be given out of love
Out of love.
from your
That's right.
heart.
Mm-hmm.
So we've been at a time where we've been taught and programmed and educated on fear. 96 to 97% of our life was pain, fear, and suffering in what we
Right.
call third dimension.
Mm-hmm.
We were guided here to shift the planet from third to fifth. Earth was the last planet in this universe that carried third and fourth dimension.
Wow.
This dimension wants to be a dimension of peace
Mm-hmm.
and love-based living, not fear-based.
Mm-hmm.
So certain ones of us were guided to come here to lead the way, and some of us were guided to follow equally important jobs, just different.
Mm-hmm.
So for those of us that are the leaders here to lead the way, we're the oldest souls on the planet, right? with the most experience about the world.
Right.
So that's why we're here. And from the time we were children, there was an inner prompting that said, you're here for something very important. Hang on. Be there in your heart. Feel it. It'll come. And so now is the time when we have this beautiful opportunity for the first time in our lives on a world stage to come together and to be one humanity.
Yeah. Yeah.
The
We're so
connected
ready
in
for
one
that.
heart. Yes, we are.
Yeah.
And separateness is not serving us. You know, we're each an individual creation of divinity. There's nobody else in all of creation like you. You have a certain gift to give. But in the same token, we're all threads in the weave of life.
Exactly.
And no one thread is more important than any other thread. So it's really important that we know that we downloaded into our sacred heart, which is your creator heart. That's your immortal heart. That's your heart that's the heart of creation. That's home. Your connecting point is a little hollow space right here at the base of your throat. And your sacred heart is right in front of your spinal column. So that is the heart that is the most important. You have your human heart when you're in human form. You have your chakra heart when you're in form. But we're living lives as every form of life at some point. And we're living and having every experience available in creation at some point. We came here for experience, to tactily experience life, not just to be energy and float and glow as a golden spiral of light, because that is the basis of life, is a spiral. There's no beginning and no end. So we've never been born and we've never died. We just keep changing forms.
It's like
And what
changing
most
our
people,
clothes, house.
yes, yes. And what most people don't know is heaven is not up in the sky somewhere. It's not a place. It's a state of mind. It's a higher consciousness of love.
Right.
And it's right here on earth, 3 feet off the ground. And so is the Rainbow Bridge. So your relatives and your loved ones in the animal world never left you. They're still here, but they're in their light bodies.
Right.
So we don't die. We just change form. And so when you realize that, then you realize that you are eternal, you're immortal, you've always existed. And when you stop and understand that every soul on the planet matters, and each of the beings are golden beings of light, and we all wrote a script for a life adventure we wanted to have here. And we handpicked 50 beings from our soul family on the other side of over 500 beings. And what decided what soul family we were in was the level of self-love that we carried in our heart. And so all 500 beings of our soul family are resonating at about the same level of self-love we are. We handpicked 50 out of the 500 to live a round of lives with. And we went from pure liquid light floating and glowing to the farthest extreme of unloving. And we totally fragmented into total separation in third dimension. And third dimension by design is designed for contrast. Every extreme you could imagine experiencing, you can in third dimension. You can have any experience you want to have. You can be anything you want to be. And it's designed so that when you make a choice, and if you say, you know, I'm choosing to be kinder to me in this life, and I'm choosing to then be kinder to others, in order to make that what we would call an informed choice, you have to understand what unkindness is fully.
Right. Yeah.
So you experience everything, and then you come back and say, I've decided it's kindness for me.
Right.
And I've fully experienced everything, Michiko, and I've decided that I'm choosing kindness. So that's the whole point of the journey of a soul, is we go from pure love and oneness to total fragmentation. We have lives as murderers and rapists and pirates and thieves, where we have no conscience, we could care less. And then we start caring, and then we start working our way back into oneness by mindfully and consciously choosing.
Mhm.
And so we're on the threshold of stepping into the seventh golden crystalline age of wisdom and peace.
Mhm.
And the new children
Mhm.
that have been coming on the planet since the 1980s, there's 77 different types of new children that
Mm.
have been coming on the planet. They're the peacekeepers,
Yeah, yeah.
and they're here to lead us into the
Mhm.
seventh golden crystalline age of wisdom and peace. And those of us born before 1980, we're the indigos, we're the system busters.
Mhm.
And so we've created clearings for these new children to be able to come
Uh-huh.
so that we can assist them
Mhm.
to bring in the golden age. And the gold symbolizes divine consciousness.
Oh, I see.
You've stepped beyond human consciousness into divine consciousness.
Mhm.
So I started seeing gold animals in 2005. And I
Mm.
get information sometimes 11 and 15 years before I see it in print, hear other people talking about it,
Mm.
because I surrender and trust in the integrity of my own soul.
Right.
And I don't need to know and I don't need to understand. Those are both fear based ideas. I trust in who I am.
Mm.
So when I get information, I listen and I feel the truth in my own heart. And I suggest everybody do that.
Mm.
Don't take face value what somebody says. Put
Yeah.
it through your heart. Feel
Because
how it feels.
yeah, you hear
That's
so
your
many
truth meter.
people talking to you and
Yes,
evaluating you, but if you really trust your heart,
you'll
love
get the
yourself,
truth.
you don't have to hear anything.
Nope. And you're the only one that feels the way you feel
Mhm.
because you're an original creation of divinity.
Right.
So it's important that you tune in and feel and recognize the truth for you.
That's right.
Because everything that you encoded in your heart before birth were all the people, places, things, and experiences you would need for this lifetime,
Mm.
all the issues that you chose to go through, and all the solutions. And you also programmed all the ways you personally will wake up and remember who you are.
Mm-hmm.
So you have four psychic gifts. Everybody has them. Everybody's wired for them,
Yeah.
but we all experience them a little differently.
Mm-hmm.
There's clairsentient, which is you feel what other people feel. You feel your way through life. There's clairaudient, which is you hear information. There's clairsentient, which is you feel, you just know that you know, is claircognizant.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have clairvoyant, which is your third eye.
Yeah.
And as an example, I feel through my third eye instead of seeing things like a camera. I
Mm.
feel how somebody looks. I feel what their color is. I feel it. And I get my information through feeling.
Wow.
So you may have those gifts, but you get them in a little different way so you don't realize you're actually tuning into them.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So on the planet at this time,
Mm-hmm.
we have this amazing opportunity through experiencing separation in a way that we haven't before,
Mm-hmm.
which is we're being guided to be home,
Uh-huh.
to be in our own families, to be with our own spouses or partners or family members, our
Mm-hmm.
own children. And for the first time in our life, we're not distracted by work,
Mm-hmm.
and we're actually able to stop and get off the treadmill, look at our life and say, is this how I want to live my life? Working 7 days a week, not
Mm-hmm.
allowing my dreams to come true,
Mm-hmm.
not listening to my heart, not being with my family, not allowing myself to be in nature or take a walk or do whatever I want to do. I'm
Mm-hmm.
on an automatic pilot of accomplish, do more, be more, have more, next, 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 next. And we've been programmed and brainwashed
Mm-hmm.
to do that.
Right. Right.
And multitasking is the worst because you're not in the present moment at all.
But
You're
we.
fragmenting yourself into 8, 9, and 10 different ways.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when you allow yourself to be in the present moment,
Mm-hmm.
when you live where you're breathing, because that's all you have. We don't have expiration dates on our birth certificate, do we?
No.
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 We could go in 4 minutes, Michiko. We could go in 50 years,
Right.
right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So we need to be cognizant that you need to be happy now. You need to choose to live now and be and share and feel and actually experience
Hmm.
what your heart's calling you to
Hmm.
experience now.
Right. And you know, when we feel happy and joyful now, then we feel so much love within us. That way, we want to share that love with others
Yes. Yes, you're
unconditionally.
right. Yes. And when you're in your heart space, you are home because you're creator, you're source, you're all that is. So
Right.
when you're in your heart space,
Mm-hmm.
you are also in your divine flow.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're in your divine flow, everything is provided automatically because you're not in resistance.
Exactly.
Okay. Resistance is fear. So every single time you doubt or worry or get anxious or get frustrated
Mm-hmm.
or push and force and insist,
Mm-hmm.
then you are putting energy out that is unloving and is scary and frightening and fearful.
Yeah.
And then you attract more of it.
Um, Many people ask me, they say, when I feel angry or when I feel scared, when I feel fearful or worried about something or suspicious about their spouse or a girlfriend, a boyfriend, they ask, what can I do with that
Hug
emotion at that
yourself.
moment?
Hug yourself.
Uh-huh.
We've been taught to give affection to everybody else but ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
We've been taught to be our own worst enemies, to
Mm-hmm.
judge and criticize and
Right.
pull ourselves apart and make us wrong. And that is truly not what we're here for. You're here to be your own best friend. You're here to be the love of your own life.
Mm-hmm.
You are the soul mate. You are the twin flame. There's no others outside of you. In your most expanded form, you're all and everything. You're just energy. And all of life is energy.
Exactly.
So when you get that, the greatest gift you can give yourself is, first of all, to hug you. And I mean a genuine hug. Put your arms around you,
Mm-hmm.
breathe very slowly,
Uh-huh.
and let your breath take you from your head and fear into your heart and love. And usually, in about 5 or 6 breaths,
Uh-huh.
you'll take yourself home in
Mm-hmm.
your own heart. And once you do that, then pause for about 3 seconds. And before you say something, before you choose something, ask yourself, if what I'm going to express, is this me loving me
Mm-hmm.
and me expanding into more of who I am and the truth of me? Or am I terrifying myself?
Mm-hmm.
Am I shrinking myself? And I'm becoming less than who I am?
Uh-huh.
What am I choosing here?
Right. Because if we choose fear or anger, that's the energy that we're giving to ourselves. Right?
Yes, and it's toxic.
Yeah, it's
So
toxic.
every time that you are not sending love energy to yourself and then in turn to everybody else,
Right.
it toxics your body and creates disease, illness, and aging.
That's right. Also, I think that we are here to evolve ourselves, also our soul, also. So
Yes.
by choosing something negative like anger, fear, or anything negative, we are not evolving, but we're
No,
staying
we're not.
in this low
Yes.
vibration,
We're shrinking. Yes.
shrinking.
And
So, mhm,
the truth is, you're all into everything.
mhm,
You didn't come here to learn anything. You went through the veil of forgetting before you were born.
mhm,
And now you're having a whole human experience 100%. And now that we've done that and we've shifted the planet from 96 to 97% pain, suffering, and fear to a higher frequency of light the last 19 years.
mhm,
And now we're stepping into being an androgynous light being
mhm.
with our yin and yang balanced, our
Right.
male and female balanced,
Mhm,
our power balanced, as we allow our light body to shine and glow. And so, our mission for every soul on the planet at this time is to love ourselves more in this life than we've loved ourselves in any life. And
mhm.
when you pass to the other side, The only question the angels ask you is how much did you love yourself? Because only the degree that you love you can you love somebody else.
That's
But
right.
that's the opposite of what we're taught.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, the most beautiful gift you can give yourself is a smile in your heart.
Right. Oh.
And every cell in your body feels it, every organ feels it.
Mm-hmm.
Laughter is the fastest way to heal. Watch babies laughing on YouTube, watch animal antics,
Yes.
right? And do things that nurture.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're in your heart, you're being nurtured and supported and loved. And time and space only exist with fear. So consequently, when you're in your heart, you can spend hours creating art, holding a child, playing with a puppy, dancing, and you don't even notice the clock because you're in your heart.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have any fears, you don't have any worries, you're not concerned about anything when you're in your heart.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where you getting in touch with your truth exists.
Ah.
So the greatest gift you can give yourself is to be your own best friend.
Mm-hmm.
Make feeling good your top priority, not for 100% of your day. You're not here to live a perfect life. You're already whole, complete, and perfect because you're pure divinity.
Mm-hmm.
You're all into everything.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing about becoming anything more. You're it. But you have to align your heart light. And all the dimensions are nothing more than levels of self love.
That's right.
And the answer to every issue, I don't care what it
Mm-hmm.
is self love.
That's true.
And this life, believe it or not, is the most intense life and the one we're expanding into the most of who we are more than any other life we're living. This is the main life for expansion and soul.
Mm.
And that's why there's so many people on the planet here today. Everybody chose to be here.
Wow.
As painful as it has been,
Mm-hmm.
to the degree you experience pain, you have the capacity to experience love.
Love. Oh.
And that is the gift. And we're here to have the whole range of emotions. So this last year has been a humdinger.
Mm-hmm.
This last year, we've been in the pit, the bottom of the pit of our deepest core pains and fears.
Mm.
We've been loving ourselves more this year than any other year.
I think
And
so.
we finally have the courage to go into the pit
Mm-hmm.
and clear our deepest addiction, our deepest unhealthy pattern, our deepest separation of self,
Mm-hmm.
whatever it may be. This year is the time to do this. And we're being given. And in December, we're having a huge surge of more souls waking up to remember who they are.
Mm-hmm. From now until
And we're,
the end of this year, 21st. It's going
yes,
to be the very, very important time. Yeah.
because the star brothers and star sisters, which we're all star brothers and star sisters,
Mm-hmm.
okay, we're coming together more heart to heart, and we're getting in touch with the wisdom that we carry in our star brother and sister energy. We carry wisdom of the trees, we carry wisdom of the flowers. We've lived lives as insects, we're living lives as water and rainbows and suns and moons and stars and a grain of sand. We're living lives as everything.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, when something's getting your attention, it's because you're now ready to take that fragmented part back into your heart, into oneness.
Mm.
So you carry the wisdom of everything in life.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And that's why you need to honor everything in life
Right.
because it's a part of you.
Exactly.
And when we start taking responsibility for the planet, realizing the planet is a being like you or I, Michiko, who's living the life as a planet.
Yeah.
And we're all living lives as a planet.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so it's important that we take this time and we can see how the earth is healing without human interference.
Mm-hmm.
The animals are going back to their migratory patterns where they're in balance with nature.
Right. Yeah.
We've built so much concrete junk
I know.
that the earth has a hard time breathing.
Exactly. That's why we have a lot of disasters and problems because the earth has been hurt so much. And
Yes.
Mother Earth is sick right now. We have to heal our Mother Earth because it's living being, you know?
But it's you, your earth, your Mother Earth,
Uh-huh.
and you need to heal you.
Yeah.
And the way you heal you is through self love.
Uh-huh.
So, one of the ways I got in touch with my feelings that I would suggest people consider
Mm-hmm.
is when I'm driving and I'm stopped at a stoplight,
Mm-hmm.
I take just 15 seconds and I tune into my body and I feel what I'm really feeling, not what I think I would be feeling, not what I felt yesterday, but what am I feeling in this moment?
Mm-hmm.
And then the color for healing is emerald green.
Yeah.
So if I'm carrying pain in my shoulder, I send an emerald green hug to my shoulder and
Uh-huh.
I feel it release. If
Mm-hmm.
I'm carrying tension in a certain part of my body, I
Mm-hmm.
send Christ consciousness, which is unconditional limited love. The color is gold pink. I see my whole being bathed in gold pink light.
Oh.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we can start right where we're at, loving ourselves,
Mm.
listening to our heart, and most of all, sharing with other beautiful hearts.
Beautiful.
And everybody on the planet is a golden being of light. They're just in a script somebody wrote playing a part, but all scripts were dissolved 19 years ago.
Oh.
All oaths, covenants, agreements, and vows of third dimension were dissolved 19 years ago. All karma was dissolved,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody became a sovereign being with a clean slate.
Oh.
Everybody did.
Wow. Mm.
And everybody chose to ascend. So we're at a point, choice point, where we need to choose love
Wow.
and we need to choose balance
Mm-hmm.
and we need to choose truth. And
It's
we're being guided from doing to being. And the last 10 to 12 years, we've been being guided to slow way down
mm.
because we've been taught to be busy, 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 busy. And when you're
So
busy,
that we
busy,
won't even
busy,
think about anything. Yeah.
you're not in touch with you at all. You're just
Yeah.
an
Right.
automatron
We're
going
not.
through the motions. But when you are in the moment, mindfully and consciously choosing,
Mm-hmm.
then you're in your mastery.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're in your mastery, then your heart is touching the heart of every soul in the world. And every soul is getting whatever it is that you're sending out.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the greatest gift we can give
Oh.
is by loving us,
Mm-hmm.
we love all.
Yeah.
Now, that doesn't mean that we can't be discerning.
Mm-hmm.
We need to be discerning.
Exactly.
Okay. If somebody's violent, I can see that they're playing a part. They're playing the part of a violent person. I don't choose to be around them. But I also know that I'm also living a life as a violent person.
Mm-hmm.
And we will all be everything at some point.
Right.
So I have tremendous compassion for what somebody's going through, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't lower my compassion to pity because I
Exactly.
know
That's
that
something that
there's no
people sometimes.
victims.
That's something that people sometimes make mistakes, or they don't really. They try to. They think that they're trying to help, but they're actually lowering down their own
Yes.
vibration by
Yes.
dealing with those
Yes.
people. Yeah.
And your vibration is the law of attraction is an impersonal law. It doesn't care if you're a good person. It doesn't care if you floss your teeth. It doesn't care. It's going to give you 100% whatever you're giving out vibrationally. So, one of the things that Anna, when I stepped into my ascended master self as Anna, Mother Mary's mother, in January of 2018, Anna said to me, Judy, just allow and release all resistance, all of it. So, instead of trying to push something away,
Mhm.
embrace it and love it in your heart until it dissolves.
Mm.
That's why the hugging.
Oh, wonderful.
Okay. When you hug you, you're hugging the world.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. So let's awaken with your permission, Michiko. I'd like to invite the dove of peace into all of our hearts.
Mhm.
So we all remember we are the dove of peace.
Yeah,
And in order to have world peace, we have to have individual peace.
exactly. Without
Okay?
that, we cannot really make the world peace. Me first, peace within,
Yes,
then that
exactly.
energy goes around.
And that's what Dr. Emoto showed so beautifully
Mhm.
with his water crystals,
Right.
because your body has so much water
Okay.
that when you love you, that beautiful love transforms every part of you,
Exactly.
which then transforms the world. So
Mm-hmm.
take a moment and put your hand on your heart and feel the truth of who you are, and say to the dove of peace, I welcome you into my heart to totally transform me in any way that honors me and allows me to share from the truth of who I am through love, ease, grace, and joy. And so it is, beloved, we are.
Thank you so much, Judy. It was so beautiful, wonderful. Um, I'm sure that many, many people will really appreciate what you shared just with us. Thank you so much.
I thank you for giving us an opportunity to connect heart to heart and for us to share with each other, Michiko. I give you a big hug, and
Ah,
may we
thank you.
hug
I give
each
you a
other.
big hug. I love you so much, Judy. Thank you so much. And I will
Dove of peace, dove of
double
peace.
please. And
Okay.
everyone, thank you so much for being sharing this time with us, with Judy and me. And we love you so much, and we thank you so much. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Namaste.
Namaste.